All right, guys, welcome back to Salt City Counseling. Once again, my name's Scott. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah, if you're new here. In this video, as you've probably already deduced from the title, I'm going to talk about masculinity. I'm specifically going to address this alpha male phenomenon. And I know that there are a lot of guys out there, they get there's a lot of noise out there, guys, about what masculinity is, what masculinity isn't. I am doing my best to kind of weigh in here and what I actually think masculinity is. Because again, there's a lot of noise out there. There are a lot of people out there that want to tell us what it is and what it is not. Here's just sort of my basic quick advice. Tune out 90% of those people. Just don't listen to them. I find that 90% of the people that talk about masculinity and all that have no idea what they're actually talking about. It's particularly hard to not notice that there are more than enough women out there who want to tell us what masculinity is, what masculinity isn't, how to be, how not to be. And there's more than enough women, it seems, on the internet who want to tell that seem to think that they know what it's like to be a man more than we do. And just one of my rules of thumb in life, here's just some basically fatherly advice for you guys. There's no such thing as a person knowing more about somebody else's experience more than that person, right? I can't tell you what it's like to be you more than you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are no women out there that know better what it's like to be a man than men do. And so my rule of thumb is to just ignore them. Just ignore them. Don't even pay attention to them. And so, but again, I feel like the alpha male phenomenon is something that guys are hearing a lot, mostly from other guys. And Andrew Tate, I think, pushes this idea. You got to be an alpha male. That if you're an alpha male, you get the girl, you get the money, you get the job, you get the car, you get the 10 cars, you get the big giant house and all that. And when you're an alpha male, you, even though it's nighttime, you put on your sunglasses and you leave your shirt wide open, whatever. And just to kind of get to the point, I don't actually believe in this alpha male phenomenon. In my perspective, this alpha male phenomenon is, I'm gonna try to say this in the nicest way possible. I'm not trying to, let me front load it. Here's a disclaimer, guys. I'm not trying to be disparaging towards guys. I'm not trying to put you down. I'm not trying to criticize you. I'm not trying to tell you that you're garbage or you're crap. Believe me, I've heard it. We've all heard it. We all get it. I've been there. I know what it's like. So my deepest sympathy. So truly, because I've been there, done that. But I'm speaking from experience here. I feel like most men these days are just boys in grown adult bodies. They just, that being a man is a psychological thing. It's an emotional and psychological switch. And the things that cause boys to make that switch and go to a man is not something that is part of our culture or our society anymore. Boys are not entering rites of passage, for example, that help them transfer from boy to man. It's just not happening. And so to me, when you hear these guys talk about being an alpha male, and you got to be an alpha male, I'm laughing because I saw this video on Reddit. It's like this teenager. He's like in school, and it could be staged, maybe. But excuse me. This teenager is like being recorded in his class, and he's telling his teacher what to do, and the teacher's like, no. And this kid is like, I'm the alpha male. I'm the one that says, right? And the teacher's like, no, you're not. Go sit down. And of course the caption is like, this is why Andrew Tate is bad for boys. And it's like, yeah, because I'm sure this is really happening all over the place where boys are like, oh, I'm the alpha male. There's no empathy for the boys. There's no like, hey, let's teach this kid. He wants to be better. I see a kid who wants to be better. I see a kid who wants more out of his life. And maybe he needs some mentoring and some guidance, not just for us to tell him that he's bad, like we do to boys. Anyways, the whole alpha male thing are boys trying to be men. Truly, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm certainly open to being wrong. I'm certainly open to changing my mind. 100%. But again, in my perspective, that the guys that are always like, oh, you got to be an alpha male. That's a boy in an adult grown male body trying to emulate what he thinks is a man. And he's lost, he's misguided, he has some false or erroneous ideas. And so this idea that we as men are like, we have this hierarchy, like we have this pecking order or this hierarchy, right? Or this caste system almost, I think is utter nonsense. I think this idea of, having this pecking order of this hierarchy of men, starting with the alpha and the beta and so on and so forth, right? Excuse me. I think it's nonsense. I think it's total BS. And to me, even like, it's narcissistic type of thinking. I feel like we have a normalization of narcissism these days, in which narcissists see the world in a pecking order. They're putting people into pecking orders. It's narcissistic to put people in a ranking system, right? And when you start seeing people in a ranking system or a pecking order, then you start thinking like, well, how do I climb this ladder? And then you start compromising your values, and then you start you betray yourself in the process. That's not what a man does. A man doesn't betray himself and harm others just to climb some hierarchy, just so he can get the girl and get the money and get the job or what have you. I think that's garbage. So if you ask me, you should scrap the idea of there being alpha males and that I need to be one. Because to me, masculinity, your masculinity, is not a matter of you like gathering up all the other men around you and let's compare them all and make a list and oh well, he's not the alpha male, so who is? I had this happen once. I was helping to run a men's group. This guy goes, so who's the alpha here? And I was like, I think you're in the wrong place, bro. And he goes, it could be you, but you're not there yet. Like, whatever. I'm not even trying to be, dude. Like, get these childish ideas out of your head. We're all here to support each other. We're all here to work together, right? Because what's great about men is what they can accomplish when they work together. And we can't do that if we're in constant competition, right? And we should be developing respect for each other out of competition. I've worked with troubled teenage boys who see competition as a way to dominate somebody else instead of building respect for them. And my game was basketball. I would get these kids on the court. And I was very competitive on the court. I would just play my heart out. I'm a big dude. I play strong. I'm intense. I was really intense. But I enjoyed teaching these boys that, hey, just because we're competing doesn't mean we're enemies. This is how we create camaraderie, okay? But alpha males just see me against everybody, me against the world. It's free for all. That's not what good men do at all. Like, good men see each other as allies and brothers. Good men know that we are stronger together than we are individually. This whole alpha male BS is, oh, I'm better than the rest of you. I think it's garbage. I think it's nonsense. And so if you want my advice, scrap the idea of becoming an alpha male. And besides, truly, the harder you try at being an alpha male, the more you're going to fail miserably at it. Don't try. Stop trying. Don't try so damn hard. Let it go. Like, let go of your need to dominate others and let go of this egotistical idea that you have to be, that other people have to see you as the guy that it's nighttime and you're wearing your sunglasses. You know what I mean? Let go of that. Cut everybody else. Pretend there's nobody else on the planet. Pretend there are no other men and focus primarily just on you. What are your goals? What are your values? What are your convictions? How is it that you can be the most true to yourself? That's what real masculinity is to me. And most guys don't even know what that means. Most guys are like, well, I don't know who I am. What does that even mean? I had an incredible session yesterday with a gentleman who was always asking these really in-depth, fascinating questions about what does it mean? What is a self? What does it mean to be yourself? What does it mean to have a sense of self? And just led to some great conversation and stuff for therapy just to look at in terms of knowing yourself and having some conviction, right? Having some values. And that's where you find your masculinity, guys. That's one place. So to me, this whole alpha male nonsense, let it go. I mean, I really feel like the main place that you see the alpha male phenomenon is really amongst the criminal element, like in prisons or street gangs, gangbangers, mafia, right? And these are extreme examples of being psychopathic or sociopathic and sadistic. And this isn't what good masculinity is. Being heartless to the pain and struggle of others, that's not masculinity. It's evil. And I realize that a lot of guys develop this as a survival mechanism, but most of you are not required to do that. So anyways, those are my thoughts on being an alpha male. I've got a client soon. I got a session soon. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff. You know what to do. Go check out my new podcast, Healing Our Masculinity. I know it's up on Spotify. Haven't seen it up on Apple yet. I'm probably not in their good graces with this type of content. I think Apple is, part of that side of the spectrum where they just want men to be weak and subservient, and for us to just take a back seat and just admit that we're useless or something. I don't know. I just don't know. But I'm on Spotify, Google Podcasts. I'm up there too, and a few other platforms. So go check it out. Healing Our Masculinity podcast. It's pretty new, but that's another way that you can support me. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.